Okay. Look, I'm real with you, man. Ninja Gaiden 4, to me, and to me personally, is a fantastic game, man. This game feels smooth and amazing, man. The feedback from the controls in this game is awesome. Smooth like butter, man. Smooth like butter. Like butter on a pancake. It just blends in perfectly. And it's presented like a good meal. Now, when it comes to Ninja Gaiden 4, right? I've been in the background in the shadows for a very, very long time when it comes to this game, especially when it got released or the trailer got released, back earlier this year, you know what I'm saying? Where I was at my most hyped this year when I heard we're getting three Ninja Gaiden games in 1 year, right? You know what I'm saying? We had Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, which is probably the worst Ninja Gaiden game I've ever played in my life. That was complete cash grab. I made a video on that earlier this year, how that was very disappointing, and they never shadow dropped that nobody will buy that game. So they got very lucky on that, trying to trick people to buying that game. Then you had Ragebound. Ragebound was a cold 2D platformer. Now, me personally, I haven't played like a 2D platformer in a while, but it felt good to go back to an actual 2D platformer that was pretty challenging, pretty cool. And the soundtrack in that game was amazing. Kenji was cold. And the Spider Girl, she was cool. I kind of forgot her name. Sorry, but Spider Girl's gameplay was a lot more better than Kenji's. I feel like Kenji, if he had like a move that can slice upward, his gameplay would be a lot more better. But that game definitely fit towards the Spider Girl because she can just throw things everywhere. Honestly. But that game was also raw as hell too. And then we have this game, Ninja Gaiden 4, the game I've been waiting for. That should be like my game of the year. And yes, this game is probably the most fun in terms of replayability I've had in a while. The game feels smooth, like the defense in this game is amazing, man. It's amazing, and I love it all the way. All the mechanics that we have in this game is amazing. I can't get enough of everything in this game. Yeah, for sure. So the one thing I'm confused about when it comes to this game, right, is that why were people really bashing this game like it was the most horrible game of all time? Like y'all realize that y'all fan base really kind of prevented us from getting best action game of the year because there was so much discourse around this game, right? This literally is the best action game we had the entire year. Ain't nothing come close to this. I'm sorry, ain't nothing come close to this game. But the fact is, the y'all Ninja Gaiden 2 Glazers cannot get over this game, man. This man, y'all gotta let this cheesy ass game go, bro. This the hate or just the envy towards 3 and towards 4 for y'all Ninja Gaiden 2. Y'all gotta let it go, man. For real, for real. For real, man. I saw too much discourse between the fans when the game came out talking about, oh, it's boring and it is just this, the boys the same thing. But in Ninja Gaiden 2, there's a whole no touch video world record where the guy does the same two moves where he guillotine throws and UT spams all day through all the enemies. That's not cheese. It ain't the same thing. How many strats that we had to use in Ninja Gaiden 2 to cheese out the enemies? There's so many strats in Ninja Gaiden 2 that's so much cheese. Ninja Gaiden 2 is a cheesy ass game. You know why it's cheesy? Because we have a boss in there called Elizabeth, which you can't even fight her straight up, and she's a broken, glitchy ass boss. You have to cheese her out to kill her quick by using the scythe and going behind Genshin's body. Even during the freaking mission mode, whenever I saw this boss pop up, man, it's like it took at least 5 to 6 minutes to beat this boss, bro. It was almost impossible to fight this boss straight up, man. Literally, this game is full of cheese. The bosses are cheesy. Sidonius is cheesy. The same loop moves all over again. Especially with Sidonius. He just literally spams moves all day with no like literally. He would spam a move if you're not right next to him. Like he literally would do an up close move when you're from a distance. That makes like no sense. He just keeps on going. Becomes so freaking cheesy. And also with Elizabeth, you can't even do flying swallow against her in the air because she literally would auto dodge you in the middle of the air. Homie, how come this game that y'all be defending is pure cheese? Honestly, I'm gonna say it right there. Like I said, I love Ninja Gaiden 2, but it's pure cheese. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyway, so how come I call that out, right? I'm calling it out because, like I said, I've seen so much hate on this game, and the game is brand new, and we had had a brand new game for the Ninja Gaiden series in a long time. So a lot of the hate that's coming towards this game makes no sense. We all knew this game was going to go into a new, different direction. And me personally, I knew the gameplay was going to be mad fire. I never complained about the gameplay. I was never going to expect, hey, the gameplay is horrible, man. The gameplay is going to switch. This new character Yakumo, he's just a Ken Kaneki rip off from Tokyo Ghoul and all that stuff, man. And then for Ryu, he's not really in the game. He only got one way. Like, bro, there hasn't been a new Ninja Gaiden game in years. This approach they did makes the most sense. Yakumo is clearly meant for the new style of Ninja Gaiden, for the new players, correct? He's more faster, and his style is a little bit more towards the Platinum games. I get it. Then you have Ryu, old school Ninja Gaiden style. So you have the new school and old school. Literally, it's literally in the game itself. And I think Yakumo is pretty fun. He's a pretty fun character to go against, but man, Ryu is a powerhouse in this game. So literally, if you just play as Ryu all game, you still get the same exact Ninja Gaiden. Just sure he has one weapon, but at the same time, remember how Ninja Gaiden 3, he only had what? One weapon himself, right? So everything y'all bashing Ninja Gaiden 4 for, it's the same thing like in part 3, pretty much, right? And everyone's saying, oh, well, for Ninja Gaiden 4, the levels are very empty. The walls, there's just hallways, the game. But for Ninja Gaiden 3, it's the exact same thing. All you do is walk, 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 walk in some hallways and all that stuff. Like literally, literally, the level with the T Rex, there's a bunch of hallways. Or the level where he literally has to escape what the LOA? He literally has to walk across his bridges, rooms, and hallways, man. In part 3, right? But basically, Ninja Gaiden 4 is so linear, the stages just tell you where to go. It's been that way since part 2. Part 2 is very linear. It just tells you where to go. There's no really big secrets how it is in part 1. Like part 1's level design was peak. It was nice. You had to backtrack. You had to actually use the map to go somewhere. Part 2 has been easy to navigate through places. Like this entire franchise has been easy to navigate since part 2. So I understand what people are complaining about this game, saying how it's different, how it really changed, the level design is boring, and woo woo, and how the enemies are bland as hell. Now, look, I'm gonna be real with you, right? This game itself is very balanced, and I like it. It's not over the top. The bosses are pretty balanced too. They're not over the top as well. And the player feels like they're actually in control and can defend against certain things, which I like the most. You know what I'm saying? So whoever is complaining about this game does not like balance, and this game is perfectly balanced. This is the most balanced Ninja Gaiden game we had since Ninja Gaiden Black. Because remember, in that game was all about damn near defense. It wasn't offense, it was damn near defense. Part 2 is all about offense, barely defense. Part 3, I could say it's the most like the movesets in the game is fine, but the enemies make it horrible because literally they auto dodge everything when you're right next to them. It makes the flow of the gameplay feel very, I don't know, it's like not fun. It's like you're having fun, then you have to slow down, literally. From the soldiers to the alchemists to whatever. Literally. Literally. But the styling in the game is pretty cool though too in part 3. But part 4, we can actually just have a balanced game where I can hit the enemies, I can defend myself against whatever happens in the game. The game gives you all these defensive options with gleam mode, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? And then it gives you an option to armor break the enemy's armor. Remember, this was the issue for so many Ninja Gaiden games. Well, hold on. This actually never mind. This is the issue in all 3 games. Remember how enemies have certain super armor moves that you just couldn't beat, and that disrupted the whole flow. Now in this game, you can keep flowing and flowing and flowing and keep your momentum up. But yeah, people are complaining about saying, "Oh, that's too easy." You know what I'm saying? You break the armor, it's too easy. I don't like it. I love it. I love it because the game gives you an option to make sure that you are untouchable. And to the casual gamer, this is perfect. To us, who's played Ninja Gaiden for so long, Sure, it can seem like, oh, this is way too easy, but it's not easy. It's the game giving you an option to to protect yourself from harm in a game where the enemies are trying to kill you and jump you. So I understand why people are even complaining about how easy this game feels with the gleam and what all these extra meter options. Literally, the game gives us options to make sure that we are okay. So if you die in this game, that's literally on you. There is no excuse no more. This game gives you all the options, all the text, all the combos, all the styling that you need to play this game and beat it. So if you lose this game, it's clearly a skill issue. That's why I like Ninja Gaiden 4, gameplay wise, man. Honestly, honestly. If for anybody else to complain about this game being that way, being boring and oh, it's too bland, it's too predictable. Literally, just go look at the old Ninja Gaiden games. We've been doing cheesy stuff for these games for years. 4 years. 4 years. And like I said, as long as the enemies are balanced, the bosses aren't super corny and cheesy, you know what I'm saying? To the point where, you know what I'm saying, they just do the same loops like all day, you know what I'm saying? Like a Elizabeth and Sidonius and the other redhead dude, no, the red hood dude back in 3, which you literally can't even like hit him. Like as long as the bosses don't have like super AI on them, where the point where like say they just dodge all your moves and just block every move you have, I'm cool with that. This game provides fun with it, as Platinum should. And honestly, like I said, I was cool at it just in the first place. So anybody else complaining about it, clearly y'all got to get over Ninja Gaiden 2. And I understand, like I said, Itagaki is a legend. Recipes to Itagaki, like I said. Him passing away around the time that this game came out is very tragic. But at the same time, though, I understand he made one of the best game of all time, which is Ninja Gaiden Black, which still is the best game in the series, low key from story, gameplay, and just just in everything in general. But in hell, even weapons wise, I'll say weapons too. But for Ninja Gaiden 4 is a well done game. And yes, there could be more, which we are getting more. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing, like two master mode option or whatever, DLC. So we can't judge this game yet. And like I said, for any game that came out this year, this game is likely one of the best action games we had all year. It beats Ghost of Yote, it beats any of these other games, man. This game is definitely fire. You can't tell me it's not fire. And it's definitely fun as hell to play. And anybody else complaining about this game, they're just very, very, very ungrateful. Now, me personally, the one thing I wanted in this game was a good story at least. And this game does have a good story. Thank goodness they had Siori in this game, bro. She brought personality in this game. I mean that. I mean that for real, for real, for real. Siori brought personality into this game. She really did, man. Uh, it's about time they add someone with some personality to the story of Ninja Gaiden. Like I said, part one is pretty cool, but there's not anybody in the game with some sort of like great personality. It's mostly just a bunch of go over there, Ryu. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it has good storytelling, but where's the personality at? Then in part two, there's definitely no personality in that game either. It's just literally he's traveling across the world just to kill some demons. Ooh. The part three tried to take that approach, but they got too corny with the whole this guy's a murderer. He's pretty much the hero of the story, so I don't know why they're trying to do that. But I did like the approach that they did do with that and made Ryu have more character to him. Then part four, we get Yakumo Misaki, which I did like Misaki. Like I said, he brought a lot of personality to the game, so he's pretty cool though too. Yumi's pretty cool, but Shiori definitely took the show because she had personality to the entire game and motive. Now, personally, at the beginning, I didn't understand what she meant, by the whole thing about, I had to kill the priestess and all that extra stuff too. The whole prophecy thing. But the prophecy thing was some pretty great foreshadowing, and towards the end, it made a lot of sense, man. And that final boss in this game is my favorite final boss. The way how it was done, it was amazing. I like the final boss of this game. I like how it was made. I like that that bird flip. What the fuck was it called? Yeah, yeah, bird flying flip thing. Just across the building all the way up to the top of the building. That was pretty cool too. All of Yakumo's kills in this game was cool, especially with the bosses. It was very, very cool to look at. The stages itself, like I think the city stages were pretty cool. The only boring stage in the game was pretty much the forest stage. The bridge stages that felt very bland, but everything else felt pretty cool. I thought the sewer stage was probably the prettiest looking because, like I said, it just has so much personality within the sewer stages. Um, but I did also feel like there should have been, like I said, a little bit more unlockable stuff in the world that they had because I feel like there was so much space in here that you could travel more. I thought they was aiming for that. I thought like you were traveling, like around, like a certain like district area, you know what I'm saying, so you can find certain things. I think that should be a thing within the game, which I think they kind of missed that out. I mean, it kind of is there, but it's not there, which I guess is fine. I guess you know what I'm saying. Since this game has been pretty linear since part two, so that makes all the most sense. The boss fight with Ryu is probably one of my favorite boss fights of all time in the Gaiden series. Pretty fun boss fight. Uh, Pretty challenging boss fight as well. I think the boss fight with Kaguchi, I forgot his name. Yeah, Kagachi was pretty cool though too. Like the way how like he slashes the walls once his form comes out was pretty cool. Um, the only thing about the game which I wanted more was Ayane, which she has like two scenes. That's it. Um, and also there's one character I also want to see more of is Tyron. I thought Tyron was gonna be like a secret boss, whatever, because he's pretty powerful himself too. So hoping the next game or not or like the next DLC they can have him as some sort of boss with Yakumo because I want to see more of Tyron. He seems pretty cool. Um, and also it'd be kind of nice if Yumi had like a little face reveal, maybe, but maybe one day. I don't know. Yeah, but other than that, I felt like this game's story was pretty cool. It's probably the best story he has since part one. And people are like, well, no, part three story is way better. It had potential, but it just turned to this, I don't know, this edge fest, I guess. I don't know. Got all weird towards the end. You know what I'm saying? The Lord of Alchemy and, kind of transformed to a goddess and ooh, it's just, yeah. At first, it was doing fine. It just did too much towards the end. That's what made me just like, okay, this is definitely a little cheesy now, to be honest with you. Definitely cheesy. Like I said, I get the whole narrative of the story. I get it, but I still prefer part four story since it's a little more simple. Like, what I'm saying, there's more stakes to it. And the foreshadowing from the beginning to the end made more sense to me. And it made cool, especially when Misaki was really Achilles. That was a cold reveal. For real. That was also a cold boss fight as well. Uh yeah, that was pretty cool. And the soundtrack in this game though, too is pretty amazing, man. I think the pause music is very, very relaxing to listen to. The music in this game is very dope. The atmosphere is very dark and gleam. You know what I'm saying, which makes sense because it's always constantly raining, but it's pretty cool as hell. Um, the weapons in this game for Yakumo is pretty cool though too. I think the tool one is probably one of the best weapon he has because you know what I'm saying because you could just shoot a bunch of shurikens and bombs from a distance. But other than that, I feel like the bow staff, tool, and the sword are pretty cool. The spear, I didn't use the spear as much. I didn't really enjoy the spear as much. That was kind of a weird weapon. But definitely nothing beats the good old dragon blade. And the dragon sword is the most fun I ever had in all four of the games, man. The dragon sword in this game is fantastic. It's amazing. I hope for this new DLC, you know what I'm saying, they can add more weapons that make it more fun. Like imagine if we actually do get or if they do give Ryu Lunar Staff, that'll be hella fun for him to use. Or if you give him actual nunchucks, it's been so long since he had nunchucks, give him back the chucks or the flails. You know what I'm saying? That'd be cool as hell too. But other than that, yeah, I think my honest review on this game is pretty cool. Now is it my game of the year? Ooh, I think Donkey Kong is gonna have to be a contender for that because that game feels perfect as well. But this game is also the most fun replayable game I've went back to. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the challenges are pretty cool too, and also the challenges too. The challenges itself, they don't really feel like challenges. They feel like setbacks, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Because your character's so OP, they had to put setbacks onto your character. If you look at all the mission stuff from all the different games, right? It was mostly about just surviving. From part two and part three, it was just survive a bunch of wave of enemies. This game has all these setbacks, like your health goes down, or you have to finish this in like a certain amount of time. These are just setbacks, not really much of a challenge. It's just setbacks and stuff, which you have to be, you know, I say a tad bit use the same strategy for some enemies. You know what I'm saying? Especially the one that has like 30-second one, defeat three, was it three waves of enemies in 30 seconds? That definitely is a hard challenge, but definitely very cheesy one as well. If you learn how to cheese it out right. Let's see what else. Yeah, besides that though, I think this game is pretty cool. This game feels smooth like butter. I enjoy this game. Like I said, I'm not one of the people on the internet that's gonna bash this game. And not none of the people on the internet is gonna bash this game. I enjoy this game. I enjoy this game very, very well. Like I literally am gonna keep playing this game until DLC comes out and just keep playing the game until I maybe probably not get bored of it. Like I said, this game is pretty fun. If I need something like like to take my mind off of this is a game I'm going to go to because I'm waiting for this game for so long, and I'm actually very happy that I played all of the Ninja Gaiden games from last year of October, and then they're completed all the mission modes for all three. I enjoyed the entire game, all three of them, just to play the fourth game in a couple months after experience all three of them. So I'm very lucky for that too, and also playing more of what DOA 2, you know what I'm saying? I played all the DOA games from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So yeah, I'm very grateful to be part of this world that is of DOA, you know what I'm saying, with Hayabusa in his games as well. And I think for Ninja Gaiden 4 is pretty cool. Now if we get that DOA 7 along with this, that'd be fire as well, man. That'd be mad fire. But I think at the end of the day, the Ninja Gaiden 4 is a really, really great game. I will give it an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 right now. I'll probably give it like 9 out of 10 if the DLC is nice, which it has to be nice. Like I said, this is a game they have to invest more into. They can't leave it like this. They could, and it'll still be like a great game. But look at all the potential you have for this game, bro. With the thing of DLC, you have to add more to this game. There's no way this game can just be left out like this. This game is too raw for that. And this game is hella fun though too. Like I said, I like this game. Like I said, because it feels like butter. It feels smooth. It's the most smoothest game I played in the entire series. Um, yeah, this game is mad fire. Honestly, if they add more weapons to it, like people want, then they probably will stop complaining. Maybe the enemies. Yeah, there's like I know those blue looking ones. The ones that like the trees. They're pretty boring. They're just like fodder. But all the other enemies pretty cool though too. I wish they have a little more fiends. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But other than that, this game is pretty fire. Um, the only thing that I really wanted from this brand new game was a good story mode, and then we had a good story mode with at least some likable characters with some great combat that beats most other games. So, like I said, for Ninja Gaiden in general, combat wise, beats most of your favorite games. And this game in general is pretty nice and pretty clean. So, um, yeah, for right now, I'm giving it like an 8 out of 10. I would give it 9 until like DLC drops. Probably making a whole nother video on that. And like I said, I've been hyped for this game for so many months, and this game is definitely cold as hell. And this year has been the year of Ninja. Let's hope it keeps going, and we get a DOA 7. And at the end of the day, if we get a brand new Ninja Gaiden 5 game, that'd be cool to sell too. I maybe sometime in the future. You know what I'm saying? Even if they say the sales are really low, but at the same time though, the game itself is of high quality. So I don't think the sales are that low. Because at the end of the day, most of the best games out there are really slept on anyway. This game's not really slept on in the first place, and the marketing for this game was really fire though too. I remember I saw this one video where they had Sway Lee playing this game on like a big helicopter on the TV in the sky. That was cold as hell. Um, for real, for real. So I think, yeah, I think this game is gonna get the attention that it deserves eventually, which it does. But like I said, we have to just stop this discourse between the community saying this game is trash because, like I said, the community is giving this game a really bad outlook and it's making people not want to buy the game essentially. So if y'all can really see that this game is really cold, is better than most of the games that came out this year that's action oriented. And we appreciate this game for what he did because we even asked for this game for so many years. So, like I said, I'm not ungrateful for it, but some people are. And at the end of the day, I'm glad to play this game. I'm glad to experience this game. I'm gonna keep playing more of this game, and that's honestly it. Yeah, this game is fine. This game is fine and fire as hell to me. And to me, that's just facts right there.